Hello, BYO, and welcome back to your first rehearsal of the summer term. Firstly, here's some things you need right now. You obviously need a pencil, your music stand, your instrument, clarinets. You're going to be playing on an A clarinet, sorry. Whilst I'm talking, just feel free to have me on in the background and go and sort these things out, get yourself ready to play. So the first thing you're going to need to do is to click on the link to the Google Drive, which is attached to this video. So once you've clicked on the link, you should be able to see different folders. And obviously, if you go to the parts folders, it takes you to the sheet music. And at the moment, I've only got one folder in there, one piece. That's the Tchaikovsky. So you click on that. And then you're going to download your part. Pretty self-explanatory. The woodwind parts, both the first and second part are on the same PDF. You just have to scroll down through the PDF for the second part. Clarinets, you've got an official part in A here, but I did also manage to find one in B flat in case for some reason you haven't got your A clarinet with you. Lower brass, similarly, they're all the lower brass parts are on one PDF, but I did manage to find, so you didn't have to read the tenor clef, I also managed to find some versions in bass clef, which I thought you might appreciate. So you might need to go dig in and just check there isn't a second part for you. Trumpets, same. So the official part in trumpet in A, but I did manage to find the trumpet in B flat online as well. So you need to firstly download your part. Now, some of you need to know what part you're playing before that. So just going to go through quickly who sat where. Now, for the majority of you, there's no change, so you don't need to listen to this. You can skip forward a little bit. So in the violins, I'm just going to go over who has changed. So moving from seconds up to first, Jenny, Toby, Ben Blakeborough and Bo. So the four of you will now be in first violins. Second violins, the rest of you are staying there for the moment. We're going to see how many people audition. Alice Robinson, you're going to lead the seconds, and there'll be a huge number of applicants, hopefully, and so there'll be a number of desks added there. Woodwind, staying pretty much the same as before. Some of you will know that there are people in your section who have left or leaving, and therefore you'll have moved up. So Lizzie, you're on first flute, Alice on second for the moment, Lucy obviously on first, and we need to recruit some more oboes. Clarinets, Erin if you play first, Eleanor if you also play first, and then Felix on second for the moment. Bassoons, as you were last term as well, Ida on first. Summer flitting between 1 and 2, and we'll talk about that individually, and Alex on second. And then trumpets and horns as you were. Trombone, George, you can play the first trombone part, so that's what you need to download. Percussionist, unfortunately, there is only a timp part, but hopefully there's a lot of other things to get your teeth into next academic year, so I'll talk to you individually about that too. So make sure you've downloaded your part. You only need, for now, for this particular session, the first bar all the way to letter F. We're not going to go past that for now. And every week I might give you some other bits to do. It's quite a big PDF, it's quite a long symphony, so you may not want to hit print on all of it. We probably won't do all of it for the moment. It's probably the first page of the PDF, but just check, you need as far as letter F. It might be the first 2 pages, in fact. So whilst you're getting all that sorted, just in the background, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the music you're about to play this term. We can't do any online interactive sessions, unfortunately. All the pieces of software that are available to do this sort of thing, they have quite a lot of lag on them. And so rehearsals will be short bits of playing, often to a backing track with bits of advice from me. And then there'll be a sectional on key bits just to support you. We are going to have a little task by the end of the term that you record a few things, and then you're going to upload them to a Google Drive, and then I'm going to put them together for you so that we've got something to show for our efforts. But that will have to be fairly simple because the symphony is quite hard, and I don't think that will work so well. So there will be some recording opportunities. So the symphony that we're going to be playing, starting this term but going on into next academic year, we'll actually be performing it, is Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony. It's a deeply moving piece. It was Tchaikovsky's sort of savior, really. He was a man that was rejected by many of the Russians for being too Western in his sound. He sounded very Germanic, and a lot of the Russians didn't like that. He was also rejected by Westerners for sounding too primitive and Russian. So he was a man, despite huge talent, struggled to find much resolution in his own life. So he had a terrible childhood. He was constantly battling the critics. He battled with his own sexuality and ultimately battling his own mental health. Sorry, that's quite depressing. But the Fifth Symphony is incredibly sunny, and it has hints of melancholy, but it's an outpouring of joy and emotion. It's very triumphant at points. And as I say, this is the symphony that sort of saved Tchaikovsky. But unfortunately, 5 years later, he wrote his tragic Sixth Symphony, and he sank into depression and then his death. So, yeah, it's an important symphony, this one. It's important analytically as well, because analysts call this kind of symphony a motto theme symphony. So it's written mostly in sonata form. It's a typical symphony structure, 4 movements, not like the Franck we did last term. And what happens is there's a little bit of music at the very beginning of movement 1, which we call the motto theme. It's the first 30 odd bars. And that reappears in every single movement, which helps give this very big structure of the symphony some kind of unity and coherence. Okay, so hopefully by now you've got your instrument, you're getting your sheet music sorted, and you're ready to go, in which case you can watch the next video, which is the start of the rehearsal.